Okay, so I'm picking up here again at the closet. We already looked at the inside. Just more demonstration of sloppy work in this kitchen that I paid a small fortune for. Not sure if you can see all along this edge, and this is, they put up this wall, brand new trim, and it just all this sloppy, work. It's already all banged up. It looks like it's in here. I never noticed the paint is actually, I don't know, cracked or coming off or something, but you can see the corner looks terrible, nail holes. If you go up to the ceiling, you can see how the poor craftsmanship on the spackle, the joint compound, the finishing on the ceiling. And then just more along this poor door frame. Again, just trying to document all these. There's so many issues. Those are paint splatters on the floor. Again, just sloppy work. Problems with the paint again. I'm not pointing out every little tiny thing. I also know you can't see every little tiny thing on the video. This is the bench that they put in. So you can see for some reason this is not flush up to the wall and where they put the caulking. I don't know why it's put up there crooked, but it's not. There's a groove there. And then, here they did some weird finishing on the bottom of this cabinet, more with the sloppy paint. Tons of examples of just the doors hung. I don't even know if you can tell in the video that they're hung crooked. From the sides, they're not straight. Also, here's a classic. The light switch, which I don't know if you can tell in the video, it's crooked. And this turns on the light in the kitchen. And this switch doesn't do anything. I think it was supposed to connect to the light in the dining room, but they never finished it. This is the island. You can see nails protruding from the wood. And again, they didn't finish this properly. The trim that they put on, this is really a cabinet. It's not meant to be an island. And, they didn't, I don't know if you can see how beat up this piece of wood is. It's supposed to be brand new. But it just, looks terrible. And this, I don't know why they took this cap off and they patched it up with silicone, but it obviously looks terrible. And the whole island itself, not sure if you can see. Shake the camera when I try to shake the island, but it's wobbly. And then, lots of things. I guess just more of the cabinets not hung properly. There's grout still. They never cleaned off the tile. This is crooked and it goes in and it broke when I tried to plug something into it. This outlet is the same thing, loose, not installed properly. The grout, they didn't finish sealing that properly. All these seams in the cupboards, you're not supposed to see those, or in the crown molding. They didn't seal up these, and then I'm not sure if you can see the caulking here that is not proper caulking. So again, I'm trying to speed this along, all these unsealed seams and corners, and then you can see again here just poor paint, poor quality work. You can't even, when you come in the back door to come into the house, this light switch turns on, the outside light, and this light switch turns on the under cabinet lights, which they didn't finish under the cabinets. And I don't know if you can see all the grout and stuff on on that light, but all the lights look like that. They have stuff all over them. They didn't finish under the cabinets, and there's no way to turn on a kitchen light when you walk into the kitchen. So when you come in at night, there's no light to turn on. You have to just fumble around in the dark. That's where they patched in something around this light. You can see how they didn't, I don't know if that's joint compound or why it's a different color. Maybe they never painted the ceiling. I'm not sure. There's a lot of messes up there. Then they just, lots of things where they never cleaned out the drawers and things. And I don't know if you can see these grooves, but that's where they just tore up the drawer to install the handles. So these brand new drawers that I just paid a stupid amount of money for, they're all trashed and have marks like that already. Again, another seam that wasn't done properly, and all the cupboards where they put in the handles, they ripped up the cupboards, putting the screws in, because they obviously didn't drill pilot holes first. And then we haven't even gotten to the floor, which, you know, again here, sorry, more seams and things not finished properly. And we haven't gotten to the floor, which they already had to redo once because the first guy didn't install it or do the finish properly. And so there's a lot of grooves, like the actual floor surface goes up and down and up and down. I don't know, you probably can't see it in the video, but like here's an example. It goes, here's a peak and it goes down on both sides. And then there's a big groove right here. We're by the sink here. This is like, I don't know, 3 or 4 boards wide. And then there's a lot of places where the finish, when it was really damp, a few days ago, the finish was coming up off the floor and there were actual air bubbles in it, which I don't, I think they actually went away, but I have another video or some photos where I show that. So the floor, you know, they tried to sand it and refinish it, and there's a lot of places where they scratched it up after that, and then there's a lot of places where you can still see the marks from the bubbles and stuff that were in it after the first time that they finished it. And every time they refinished it, there's another great big ding they didn't fix. Every time they refinished it, they covered my house in dust. So, and they did it when they hung the drywall too. Whole house covered in dust. Oh, and the door. That was another issue that, you know, this door was not supposedly going to be part of the original scope, which I thought that it was, and I was informed that it wasn't. And so, sorry, I was showing you some other just messy paint and spackle work. And in this seam that's already actually popping out. And so on the door, you know, you can see here where they finished around the door. Just sloppy paint dripping down on the ground. 50 grand for this. And had this trim around the door all beat up. Paint where they painted and they didn't take the hinges off. So yeah, they supposedly installed this as a favor to me, this door, but and I think I may have this in another video too, but you hear that because they didn't install the jamb properly. It moves around when you walk on it. You can see it's not sealed. You know, this is their paint in the ceiling that came up. The seal, obviously no good along the bottom. They didn't do the trim properly, so there's a great big hole right here, and you can see they kept this rotted piece of wood rather than installing a new one. And over here as well, where they didn't restore the or finish the paint the end of the wood. Not sure how well you can see all that, but yeah, you can see the drawer on the bench on the cabinet doesn't hang properly. It's crooked. It's in at the bottom, out at the top. I don't know if I remembered all the main things, but again, the doors not hung properly. It's a bunch of it.